Someone asked a great question today that I want to answer for everybody. Basically, they said if the rapture happens at the sixth seal and the Antichrist doesn't come to Revelation chapter 13, we're not going to be here for the mark of the beast, right? That is a super logical conclusion, and I used to think the same thing before I learned that the book of Revelation is not completely in chronological order. Basically, what that means is there are parenthetical sections. You could also call them an angelic explanation, and those can go either backward or forward. It's kind of taking a second to explain the bigger picture. So the short answer to the question is the events of the Antichrist and the mark of the beast, those will all be things that we're here for. At the end, I will let you know which chapters from my research are the chronological ones versus which ones are parenthetical. So really fast, let's look at a timeline of the events. So we have the final 7 years, Daniel's 70th week. The midpoint is marked by the abomination of desolation, which is where the Antichrist stands in the temple and declares that he's God. The event that starts the final 7 years is some kind of peace treaty or covenant with the Antichrist and other nations. After the midpoint at the abomination of desolation, that's where the Antichrist starts demanding worship and demanding that people get the mark of the beast. From that point on, there is a severe persecution of both Christians and Israel. Now, as I mentioned before, there is a lot of different non-pre-trib rapture positions. The pre-wrath rapture position thinks that the rapture happens sometime before the end of the final 7 years. Basically, they believe that when Matthew says that Jesus will cut the tribulation short for the sake of the elect, that basically means that at some point we don't know, the rapture is going to happen and then God's going to pour out his wrath in the day of the Lord. Other people think that the rapture happens at the seventh trumpet. Some people think we're here all the way through the tail end, and those are kind of the main views. Right now, I'm still leaning more toward the pre-wrath view, but I see some biblical arguments for all three positions. So really fast, let me tell you guys what's believed to be chronological sections versus, we'll call them angelic explanations, which can also be called parenthetical phrases. So Revelation 6, chronological. Revelation 7, angelic explanation 1. Revelation 8 and 9, chronological. Revelation 10 through most of 11, angelic explanation 2. Revelation 11, 15 through 19, chronological section. Revelation 12 through 14, angelic explanation. Revelation 15 and 16, chronological section. Revelation 17 through 18, angelic explanation. Revelation 19 through 20, chronological section. Revelation 21 through 22, angelic explanation. So just for fun, you can look up some of your favorite Bible teachers if they address it and see which sections they think are chronological and which ones they think are parenthetical. God bless you guys.